Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is nice guy syndrome. Now, there's an excellent book. The book is called No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's by Dr. Robert Glover. And Dr. Glover talks about how many men want to please other people. They want to be good. They want to help other people. They want to go out of their way for other people. And the way that this might show up in an intimate relationship is that the guy always wants to please his wife, always wants to go out of his way to make his wife happy. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. That is what relationship is all about. But when we're dealing with a woman that is quite demanding, constantly makes requests of her husband, and he constantly bends over backwards to make his wife happy, then we end up with kind of a relationship that is more of a mother to son kind of relationship rather than man and wife. It seems that this is quite a common phenomena. I recommend that not only men read this book, but also women read this book. I think this is something that's very common in relationships, to the extent that everybody has this in their relationship to a certain extent. It's very, very important for there to be two individuals that lead their own life, that have their own lives, but together there is a relationship. And I think in many relationships, this nice guy syndrome is really kind of brought to the surface when the wife isn't really happy within herself. Now, there's a famous saying, a happy wife is a happy life. And I think that that's true. And I think that a husband can really help his wife become happy. He can add to her happiness, just like a wife can add to her husband's happiness. But what that means is that the wife and the husband, from the word go, need to have a feeling within themselves of their own happiness. If they're not happy within themselves, that is something that they need to work on. Happiness is something that is not external. It's something that's internal. And if you come into a relationship and you're looking for the other person to help you to find that happiness, you're never going to find it. And very often, one of the partners may be coming into the relationship really hoping that, this partner of mine is going to help me find that happiness. And unfortunately, the other partner may feel that, if only I do this for her, if only I do that for her. It could also go the other way. When the wife is very demanding and constantly making requests of her husband, that might be a sign that she's not really happy within herself, and she's looking to gain that happiness from without, which is never really going to happen. But what that means is, when we're dealing with a nice guy, a guy that really wants to please other people, he will actually bend over backwards to come towards his wife, to do the things that she wants, and to really try to make her happy. But again, if that happiness is not within, then there's not that much that he can do, and his bending over backwards isn't really going to help her to find that inner happiness. This may be something that you're familiar with. If you're not, that's great. It means you've got a fantastic relationship. But I think to a certain extent, this could be apparent in many relationships today to different degrees. And if it is, then if you're a woman that has, that kind of relates to this, then you need to work on your own happiness. If you're a guy that relates to this as well, then you need to work on your own happiness. And if you're in that kind of relationship where you're trying to constantly please the other person, then I would say the solution to that is to sit down, have a talk, get some therapy. And also, in a relationship, there needs to be the ability to say no. That if you're asking me to do something, now's not the right time, I'm not free, I'm not available to do that, I might be free later on, but I'm not going to do it right now. I should be able to say that. I should be able to make some boundaries. That is not, or in general, that is not something I'm willing to do for you. I'm not going to do that. You know, can you clean the house today? Because it's Thursday. I usually clean, if it's the wife talking to the husband, I usually clean the house on Thursdays. But today I'm going out early in the morning and I'm going to be back late at night. I know you're going to be home for a bit today. Would you be able to clean the house so that it's clean and tidy for Shabbat? Because Friday I'm going to be cooking. I'm not going to have time to clean the house on Friday. The guy may decide cleaning the house, that's not my job. She'll have to figure out how she's going to do that. And if I do that this week, maybe she's going to ask me to do it again next week, and maybe I'm going to become the house cleaner. That does happen occasionally in relationships. I could think of 100 other examples, but you get the idea. These are things where the guy constantly wants to come towards his wife. He needs to learn boundaries. He needs to be able to say no. And the wife needs to also recognize within herself that happiness is only going to come from within and not from without. I hope that this video has been helpful. Thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.